I'd like to start this video off by saying I am not a financial advisor. Should you choose to invest in Bitcoin or any other asset, do your own research or seek the advice of an actual financial advisor. This video is not going to take too much time today. I just want to point out a few things. Now, last night I pointed out the fact that we could be potentially putting in a head and shoulders pattern, or an inverse head and shoulders pattern. And that depends on what this does over here. Actually, if this bounces right here, this could probably qualify as that cup and handle pattern, because that's still technically within the range of the handle, I guess. Well, this would be the handle. It would just be breaking back into the handle and then going back out the other side. But whether it turns out to be the inverse head and shoulders, which a drop down here and bounce back up, that would qualify as an inverse head and shoulders. Actually, it could qualify as an inverse head and shoulders if we bounce from where we're at. It would just be a bit lopsided. We've had worse inverse head and shoulders, or worse head and shoulders. Anyways, no matter which one it is, it will have roughly the same price target, because the cup and handle would be measured by the bottom of the cup to the top of the cup, and that's roughly $4,000. And if we do the inverse head and shoulders pattern here, that the measurement would be taken from the tip of the head to the neckline, which is also roughly $4,000. So a breakout of either one would give you a price target of $4,000 above the breakout point. So either way, these are both insanely bullish patterns. So I'm not too worried right now. Even if we do dip below the 200 daily moving average, the overall outlook in the midterm to long term is still bullish, even if the short term turns a bit bearish. The short term has been a bit bearish, but the midterm and long term are still technically bullish. Bitcoin is trying to hold the 200 daily moving average here. It could break down, or it could bounce from here. It just depends on. We're just gonna have to watch this closely, because if it does get a bounce up here, bounce off of this, we're likely going to end up heading back up, breaking back into this bull flag, and that could potentially end up allowing a breakout out of the top. I mean, if we go back up to test 10,500 again, I can almost, I mean, I can't be 100% sure, but I think the third time testing 10,500, the 10,500 area, I think we're going to break it on the third try here. Because we had our first try over here, then we had our second try over here. I mean, we had a couple tries over here, but the peak of this, I'm just calling that one try. So the next time that we go up there will be the third try. And as you know, the more times you hit a resistance, the weaker it gets, and the more likely it is to break. So if we bounce from here and we start going up, we could end up getting enough momentum to smash right through that $10,500 area, and then that would set our next higher high above this. And yeah, so there's really, I mean, I don't see us wow, I'm really fucking up right now. Okay, let's look at the daily MACD. As you can see, it is still a bit bearish. So if you're going just by this indicator, it says that there could be some more downside. But if we surge, this could pull something like this, and it would end up having a bullish cross sooner than later. I mean, look what happened here. You could see how quickly that the direction of this MACD can actually change. It doesn't, if the pump is large enough, it will change. I mean, I think this was during the Chinese pump, but still, that's besides the point. Like up here, for example, it was about to cross bearish right there, but then suddenly a pump happened, and it just went the other way. It didn't cross. So if we're going by the MACD alone, it would say that there's likely to be more downside, but we've been oversold on the stock RSI for a while now. The regular RSI is down around 40, so we're in a good position to start pumping. We're in a good position to bounce. So I could definitely, I mean, I can't really say for sure that we could bounce here, but I could see it happening. Despite the fact that the coronavirus fears are still out there, yeah, I could definitely see us bouncing from here. But if we do not bounce from here, I'm not really all that worried, because if we will likely then bounce off the $8,000 area, and that would complete the inverse head and shoulders, once we did bounce off this. And I've already explained that. I've already explained that inverse head and shoulders. So yeah, let's go to coin market cap. I'm gonna look at the market overall to see if it's still pretty bearish. I think there's still a lot of red in the market today. And then we're gonna check to see if there's any news. Okay, coin market cap. Here we go. Bitcoin. Yeah, there's definitely still some red. I mean, it's not as bad today as it's been. Bitcoin down 3%, Ethereum down 3%, XRP barely moved, Bitcoin Cash barely moved, Bitcoin SV down 3%, Litecoin down 6%, EOS down 7%, Binance Coin barely moved. Now Tezos and Chainlink, those two actually started pumping without Bitcoin going up. That's showing that there's a lot of bulls in here, a lot of bulls within these two assets here. There's a lot of buying pressure, and well, when Bitcoin does bounce, I could see these two taking off really well. These two will likely rocket pretty damn. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking tired. I just got off work not too long ago, so obviously I'm not all here. So anyways, these are definitely two assets to keep an eye on. Yeah, well, I own some of both of those for the obvious reasons that they've both been doing pretty well this year. Now, moving on. Cardano down 1%, Stellar down 1.5%, Monero down 4%. So the majority of the market is still in the red, but it's not as bad as it's been. I could see us turning around sometime soon. Maybe sooner than later, but like I said, Bitcoin still has a chance to drop down to 8,000. If it does, we will likely see more red across the board. If Bitcoin bounces from here, everything's likely to start heading into the green territory, and yeah. Now, since Bitcoin has been dropping, the altcoins have been dropping faster, and Bitcoin has reclaimed some of its dominance. Bitcoin is at 64%. If Bitcoin bounces from here, it's likely to cause the altcoins to bounce too, and if the altcoins bounce the way they've been reacting this year, they are likely to start taking that dominance away from Bitcoin again. But we'll just have to just keep an eye on your charts, and yeah, let's see if there's anything any news worth talking about real quick. Alright, so, well, February gains disappear as Bitcoin drops below 9K. Bitcoin price won't fall below 8.2K during this crash. Plan B. Actually, let's see what this has to say. These fucking cookies. Get out of here. Okay. Now, the rundown. Bitcoin price will hold above the 200 weekly moving average. Crypto market route continues. Plan B, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow S2F model, says the Bitcoin price is unlikely to dip below 8,200 even as the top ranked cryptocurrency has dropped 13% over the last 1 week. As previously reported by Bitcoinist, the Bitcoin price has fallen below the 9,000 mark. Taking to Twitter on Wednesday, Plan B identified 8,200 as the likely bottom for the current downslide. Well, 8,200, that's around, yeah, that would definitely be low enough for the inverse head and shoulders to play out as an inverse head and shoulders. I guess I could have worded that a little bit better, but yeah, $8,200 is definitely a good place for that inverse head and shoulders play out. And that would be the second shoulder, of course, and if we did bounce from there, that could complete that, and we could have our breakout right at the recent high of, well, the the high for this year, that is 10,400, 10,500, whatever the fuck it was. Now, anyways, 8.2K bottom still stands. It would really be unprecedented if it breaks. Never happened before. Note, it has nothing to do with S2F. Thus far, Plan B's S2F has been the most historically accurate Bitcoin price prediction model, with a forecast of $100,000 per Bitcoin before the end of 2021. Now, I can definitely see this happening. I'm sure if you've seen my older videos, you already know my stance on this. I definitely believe Bitcoin could reach $100,000, and actually his stock to flow model predicts a $100,000 Bitcoin. But the last two times Bitcoin peaked, Bitcoin's price was actually higher than where the stock to flow model put it. So Bitcoin could definitely, if Bitcoin repeats the same pattern, it could definitely surpass $100,000, maybe reach $150,000, maybe even $200,000. It just remains to be seen, but I can definitely see Bitcoin getting up to at least $100,000. Plan B's latest tweet is a reiteration of predictions offered earlier in February, stating that Bitcoin's price would stay above 8,200 and that post-halving Bitcoin price will be above 10,000. Over the last 3 days, Bitcoin has lost over $1,000, is closed and is down close to 18% look at that, my phone's about to fucking die. What else is new? Down close to 18% since been unable to overcome resistance at the $10,600 price level. Okay, maybe that's where the high was. Despite the current slide, Bitcoin price is still up by more than 20% since the start of the year. Alright, apart from Bitcoin, the altcoin market is also seeing red, causing the total cryptocurrency market cap to shed over $25 billion in the last 24 hours, despite surging past $300 billion only a fortnight to go. The total crypto market cap stands at $248 billion as at press time. Ethereum, the second-ranked crypto, which has been gaining steadily in 2020, has seen its progress halted, dropping 10% in the last 24-hour trading session. So, yeah, this article is just basically giving a bit more on technical analysis on Bitcoin, altcoins, and all that. We're going to go back to the news here and see what else we can find. Bitcoin drives 50% of Cash App's revenue. I've seen a lot of people talking about this. What else? Bitcoin risks falling to $4,000 after poking long-term support. $4,000. I don't see it. Anytime Bitcoin does see its steeper corrections, bears always come out to say and make these weird calls all the way down to 4,000. I've seen calls down to 2,000. Of course, there are people who said Bitcoin would be going to zero and all this other shit. I don't see Bitcoin hitting 4,000. 8,000 is the lowest I could see it going. And yeah, I'm not even going to go into that article. So, upcoming Bitcoin bull will be the last one we can predict, claims China mining tycoon. I mean, well, I don't really have any thoughts on that one. I mean, I don't know what to think about that one. I mean, maybe. Because the next thing on the stock to flow model, Plan B has this upcoming halving, it's said to go to $100,000, but the next halving, it has the price going to $1.2 million, I believe, unless it's been updated and changed recently. But I think it's like $1.2 million that the stock to flow model actually goes up to for the 2024 halving. So if it were to follow through with that, you better be stacking those damn sats if that's the case. Well, either way, you better be stacking just because of this upcoming halving and the potential bull run afterwards. Moving on, how millennials will inherit trillions and buy Bitcoin. I think that's the great wealth transfer. That's what that's talking about. If billionaire investor Warren Buffett ever buys Bitcoin, you should probably sell. Yeah, this guy gave his opinion on Bitcoin, and my opinion about this is this guy is asking Warren Buffett about Bitcoin is equivalent to asking an English teacher about quantum physics. You're not going to get any good information. He doesn't know. He barely knows anything about cryptocurrencies. I think this guy just recently upgraded from a flip phone. I remember seeing an article about that, but I don't know how long ago that was. But yeah, I think most of his stocks are in like banks and whatnot. I think most of his investments are like banks and shit. So yeah, the future lies in Bitcoin, says Shark Tank's Robert Herjavec. I don't know how to say that name. Meteoric. Speaking of $1 million Bitcoin, meteoric $1 million Bitcoin predictions are not crazy, says Shark Tank star and crypto bull Robert Herjavec. There's that last name again. I can't say it. Yeah, we're not going to look at anything from Bitcoin Cash. So, it's the news articles. They're a bit. Some are bearish, some are bullish. It's not exactly all doom and gloom. So, I think. Hold on. Yeah, I think that's it for today. I think I'm gonna let you guys go. Yep, that's all I got. I will see you all next time.